Wunderbar! Wunderbar! Das ist wunderbar! 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 Das ist wunderbar! Oh la la! Das ist nicht zu fassen! Fußball! Fußball! Oh la la! Das ist nicht zu fassen! Das ist wunderbar! Ja, ja! Wunderbar! Ja, ja! Wunderbar! Ja, das ist wunderbar!
All right, and we're live, Emilio. Welcome back to the Mad Squad. Here is Maria over here in Miami. Emilio is outside of the Bernabeu at, where are you? At Jose Luis. What are you going to eat? You're going to eat dinner now? After a tie, 0-0. For me, this has been a very frustrating game. I think we had plenty of chances. I had like a deja vu from the game against Sheriff, honestly speaking. And I think that they owe us a penalty, basically, because they stomped on Vinicius' foot. And he didn't flail himself on the ground like he was accused by Moises Llorens yesterday, I think it was, like all Brazilians do, is to just roll on the ground. And here we are, 0-0. Having missed a great opportunity to be 3 points more ahead of Barcelona, now we're only one more. See, we hear you, we're live, Lorenzo, we are live, and I hear you. So what are your thoughts, Emilio?
Well, I am a little disappointed because I think at the end of the match. Sorry?
No, que Lorenzo is going. Sí, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, at the end of the match, I think Carlo Ancelotti must have to do some changes in the strategy. I don't know. There were a lot of crosses from both sides. And nobody. Hello.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
So, Jovic and Mariano were warming up the last half an hour, and at the end, Ancelotti didn't use them, even if we put a lot of crosses with the entry of Marcelo and Rodrigo and Lucas and Vinicius, and nobody was there.
But there was nobody there to take put the ball in. Absolutely
only. And there was exactly the game that Osasuna wanted from us, because Osasuna is very strong with the two center backs. They are very, very tall, so they are very good in that kind of game. So it was impotencia, no?
Impotence. No, I don't think that's the word.
Impotence
is a different.
Yeah.
Sexually enabled.
Sexually enabled. I don't think that's the word either. Say hello to Lorenzo.
Finally, Real Madrid was sexually enabled. Absolutely, it's true.
Lorenzo, you studied in the United States of America. You should be able to know how to say that. No.
Well, I didn't have that problem, so I don't know.
But it's still, we're not talking about sexual performance. We're talking about the inability.
Never been my
Gatillazo. I don't know the translation. Sorry, but okay. At the end,
I don't know.
What is it?
And
Emilio,
we lost a good opportunity.
Can you turn your phone so that we see more than this of you? Because right now you're in between the screen like this. No,
switch the phone.
Horizontal.
Okay.
And yeah, but you need to unlock the camera so it goes wide.
Here we have Papa Google number 2.
This is a new phone, and I don't know this phone, so
Bueno.
I do my best.
Then don't switch it. Stay how you
don't switch it because it's even worse this way.
Okay.
La madre que te parió.
I'm looking for Jesus Bengoechea, but I don't see him
What
or
a
his family.
Well, he's
what
It's
a
there.
terrible
possible.
game we had today. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Lorenzo? I was saying before you came
Well,
on that to me it was a very frustrating game, that it was almost like a
very frustrating.
Sheriff 2.0. So many
Yeah,
chances
very
and
frustrating.
very
It always
little.
happens every time we play a small team that the 11 guys are that play on defense are on the goal. I mean, it's just we have really big problems. We really have big problems with those kind of teams. And at halftime, I talked it with my friends here. I said that this looks like a tie because these kind of teams are hard for us
Yeah.
to make a goal. And Benzema goes out, and every time Benzema goes out, we don't have nobody to score.
Yeah, but what do
They
you
were
think? Would you have put in Mariano or Jovic? Yeah, because
yeah.
Emilio says that they were warming up for a long time, and in the
I
end
would
he
have
put in
put
Marcelo.
someone. I would have put
It was
someone.
an alternative, but I don't know if it was the good
It,
one. But at the end, we didn't do that. So it was almost the same story during the second half.
I
So
think we
Yeah,
completely wasted the first 45 minutes. They were playing at a very, very low rhythm, almost as if it was a scrimmage. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, here we go. And now in the second half, they're gonna be in a rush. They're gonna wanna, come on, come on, come on. Why are we not scoring? Because it's the story of their life all the time.
yeah.
They just waste 45
True.
minutes.
but in the last years, the main problem of Real Madrid is always when playing at home, at Valdebebas or now Santiago Bernabeu. So they play much better when they are away. I don't know the reason. Well, I know the reason. All the teams are like Osasuna or Sheriff, or they are putting a wall
Excuse me.
between between Real Madrid and their goalkeeper, and it's impossible
Yeah,
for
but
us.
normally
We
small
don't.
teams play that way. So Real Madrid needs to be used to this, right? Normally teams come to Bernabeu to
Yeah,
hang from the post. Y ya está.
yes, but
You need
in
to
the
be able
old
to have the
times
different
we used
variations.
to have Cristiano Ronaldo and
I
guys like that,
know
and
we
now
need a killer for when you just need a killer, because they in the first half they were taking a gazillion shots from outside the box. Sometimes I complain that they never take shots from outside the box, but the first half was too much. They were not. I mean, Osasuna had 11 players inside the box at one point. I was like,
yeah.
pero ¿qué es
But
esto?
at the end, the goalkeeper didn't do any important save, so it was
Yes, he did.
amazing because
He did one, one that was
he
going.
did a very quiet evening. Thanks to us.
No, very
Incredible.
frustrating game, and then I think to myself, so now on Saturday at 8 a.m. we're playing against Elche, which is going to be probably a very similar kind of game
Yeah.
and a very early game, as Roberto has always said. Real Madrid does not tend to fare well in early games, you know. So but you know what? At the end of the day, kudos to Osasuna, because it's not easy to come to Bernabeu and fight. They may have had what, one shot on goal, the one that hit Carvajal in the leg and almost went in, that it hit the post and then it rebounded.
They really had a good chance
Yeah.
over there. I mean, they could have scored easily. Hi, Robert.
Hey, Mr.
Hi.
Franz, how are you,
Hi,
senor?
Mr. Lereburs.
What are your thoughts on the game?
Well, being from Dominican Republic, I always like to punish people, so I would put them in water on bread for the next 2 days. So,
Only water and
so
bread?
yeah, because I mean, it was. I mean, Cousin put it in. Alberto Cousin is really great. He analyzed the game perfectly, and they knew what was coming. They were not running. They were not finishing the plays. Well, Vinicius were like every run. You have to know that a cross is coming, so you have to be in there for the tap in. And no one ever made a complete run. So I thought that based on that, he should have instead of Hassan, he should have brought in Jovic, because Jovic would have been the kind of guy for that physical game. That Jovic is like a predator, and there were a lot of balls in the area, and those guys were just too tall. You know what I mean? There was no point in sending balls up in the air and corners because we're not gonna win those matches that the guys are too tall in Osasuna. So what are you gonna do? I mean, it was
I
almost
don't
like
know how many corners at the end.
Yeah,
15?
pero a lot
Huh?
of them they took in short. What's the point of los
Yes,
corners that
most
you
of
take it
them
short?
were
Like,
hilly
I
corners,
hate those.
the
I hate
classic
those.
ones.
what is
I
the
hate those.
purpose? What is the purpose of that? I don't get it.
I hate those.
Here
I
we
hate
have
those.
Siempre Fi in
To lose the
Malaysia.
ball.
He says Osasuna executed what they planned perfectly, stifled the life out of us, and play on the counter. It was a pity that Camavinga was subbed off at halftime. He was playing well, albeit a young blood for the yellow.
He
Why
had a
did
yellow card.
Yes, but he's
He
a
had, he had
little
But
yeah.
aggressive
was it bad
when
enough
playing.
to
Oh, it's
take him
a
out at
danger
halftime?
for the team. Yeah,
he almost had a second yellow card if you
Yeah.
think about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's the reason why Ancelotti
For sure.
sent him to the shower. Okay, Eduardo, come on,
Take it easy.
let's go
Lorenzo,
home.
what on
Yeah.
earth do you have in the background of your screen? I just noticed that. I need glasses, and I'm like, that's not the flag he has normally behind
It's
him.
a discotheque. He got a party. You see him partying last Sunday. How much they were partying in his house when we scored. I think that's the same thing. But today is more like a funeral.
Today is okay. Let's put a funeral then on the background then.
Really? Oh
Well, I
my
mean,
God.
that's like
Yeah.
that's the second draw that we have at home. That's really 4 points already. This early in the season is not good.
How do you change
That's
that? Never mind. Oh, we
they
have a
have
new
to. They have,
follower, Locura RM. Thank you for following us. Welcome to the Mad Squad,
Hello.
where we talk a little bit about everything and sometimes about
welcome.
football. Only sometimes about football. What was I gonna say? So, as you go to bed tonight, those of you that are on the other side of the globe, as in Emilio and Lorenzo, what feeling do you go to bed with after a game like
Terrible.
today? Terrible feeling.
Terrible.
Well, at
Well,
the end,
because we had the chance to to come on the first position by ourselves, and now it's again it's like always happens the same. Why losing? I mean, not winning a game that's supposed to be easy at the Bernabeu. Always happens the same. Always.
Right, but I named ¿cómo se llama? Or I titled this game as a juego trampa, right? Like a trap game, because it's
Right.
just like the games against Sheriff, against lower table teams that on paper you're supposed to squash, and then we never do. We
Yep.
absolutely
but
never do.
Villarreal, I don't think
everybody
they have
was
won.
supposing that it was a trap game. We
Yes.
did the talk yesterday about that
Yeah,
and the day
today
before.
we've never done
It
well
was
with Osasuna.
oh,
Never.
but we made exactly the plan that Osasuna wants for us, for them. Excuse me. So
Yeah. Look, Siempre
that's
Fi
the
says
reason
here
why we are frustrated.
that he noticed in the broadcast that Ancelotti warned Camavinga at one point to calm down, but he switched the ball around faster or whatever. So yeah, I guess that was
I
it.
I think at the end of the day, in those kind of games, you have to like sometimes do a little more, like a little more effort. And I didn't see. I don't. I mean, I hate to criticize Karim because maybe he was tired. He got a hard tackle and he fell hard on his, I think his shoulder or something. So but they were talking about it like there were a lot of balls coming in the area that he wasn't running through. Neither was Marco Asensio, nor even Rodrigo. So like the one from Marcelo, that should have been a chip in, and he was like, I think he tried to center it, and no one went over to that side to try and catch it. So I think that's academic soccer. You have to go all the way
There
through.
was quite a few times where they crossed the ball in and there was absolutely nobody there. Vini left quite a few balls, just needed to be tapped in. There was absolutely nobody there.
Benzema is in really good shape, and there's no way you can take him out. But it's a lot of games now. It's a lot of games, a lot of running.
Exactly.
maybe these games are, you need some fresh blood.
If
That's
it's
that's why
the 75th minute and you're still stuck, then
that
bring some fresh
that
blood in.
that that's why I wanted to see Jovic in there, because if you call Jovic, that's his game. His game is a physical game inside the area. Even Mariano, I would have put in there, because I mean, those are what they do. That's what they do. That's how they score. They're in the area, ball falls by, and they fight the other guys off, and they tap it in. So I think Ancelotti, what he said about Hazard, pressure him into putting him back in today. Because when he said yesterday that the coach likes some other players better, and I guess maybe someone from the directives told him, listen, that guy
No,
cost us $150 million. We're trying to sell him. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
think
If you
so.
say
I
that, you'll
don't
be
think
back.
so. But you know what? At the risk of being called a crybaby, but I don't give a shit if I do. It's late in Spain, so I can curse. I think that these are the kind of plays. Did you see the image of the stomp on Vinicius' foot? It was pretty early in the game, maybe minute 30. Well, no, not tan early, minute 30 or something like that, minute 25.
Right.
If you get that call early in the game, right, and normally I would assume Benzema would take the penalty and take it in, then you have a whole different game. Why? Because then Osasuna has to go and attack, right? So I
Right.
hate when they tell us that, oh, just because it's 0-0, you can't complain about the refs. Yes, I freaking can. Last I checked, stomping someone on their foot inside the box is a penalty. But I want to know what
Even
the hell is the purpose of the VAR if they can't see that. Because if somebody at home can take a screenshot with their camera from the footage of the game, then in the
right.
VAR they have to have seen that.
So even the guys from ESPN mentioned it, and those guys. I mean, the guy that was calling the game from
Today
Spanish.
they had Kempes and was it Palomo? I
No,
can't
no, no.
tell.
I was listening to it in English because
No,
the
I
guys
can't do that. I can't watch football in English. I can't do it.
because like you like the noise, but those guys don't shut up in Spanish, and it's all Real Madrid this and Real Madrid that.
No, but
But
you
the
know
guys
what? I
in
will
English,
say we've been criticizing ESPN for the past forever since they started their La Liga coverage here in the United States. Kempes was pretty comedido today. I don't know if they realized that people are gonna just cancel their subscription or I don't know what. The only
well,
criticism that I heard them say that I was like, what is your problem? They were criticizing the attendance at the Bernabeu today, saying that it was shocking to them that only 35,000 people were there. And I'm like, okay, first of all, they only have access to half of the stadium, which is about 40,000 people. And second of all, it's a Wednesday and the game started at 9:30 at night. Therefore, what the hell do you want, right? But the other day, when Barcelona was playing the Champions League and they had, I don't know, 20,000 people inside because it was empty, they didn't say shit. Ande que se vayan a cagar. Locura Real Madrid, first time in the chat. I think the game had very slow transitions. Yes, we're playing in slow-mo. Osasuna came in with a very responsive defense.
yeah.
We played into their game.
All 11 of them were behind the ball. All of they were defending with the entire 11 in the back. I
Yes,
mean,
they were.
it's very difficult. It's very difficult to break that. And then Real Madrid has another issue. That when was the last time Real Madrid scored from a free kick? I mean, that free kick that Benzema took, that's something. That's something that they have to get better at. It wasn't even a close shot. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Emilio, mute yourself until you find someone because we're getting a lot of noise in the background. See, I don't know. I don't remember Real Madrid's last goal as a free kick. No idea.
We don't have. They took very poor free kicks. That's how we. I mean, most of the free kicks in the last 2 years that I've seen, they're usually not at quality. I would have let Asensio take it. Asensio is. I mean, Benzema is good at it, but maybe he didn't have the legs today. Those are things that the team has to watch for.
Let's stay on Asensio. 11 corners we had, but 3/4 of those were Gili corners. We're taking in short, which I don't understand the purpose. I want to chop Kroos's legs off when he takes a corner in short. What what the hell he
But
does that
if
for.
you look at most corners, like where they take, right, the corners usually end up in the front of the area where there is usually a defender, so they can head it out and maybe break out. Or if they get to the middle of the pitch, there is basically only one guy or two. What's his name? Casemiro didn't even come close to getting on one of those. So it doesn't seem like they have the team now without Sergio Ramos to concrete those plays into goals. I mean, other than Ramos, they don't have. They have to either practice more or have a different strategy. But right now, up in the air. I mean, and the guys almost scored. He lost Vinicius, and Kroos didn't come close to stopping him and Garcia, and he almost scored on a header. I mean, I think Courtois would have had it because he was on it. He saw it all the way. But if he's a better shot up in the corner, then we're down 1-0 and the game is over because they were not gonna get broken down anymore. Being ahead, they were gonna if they packed it from the beginning with 11 guys behind the ball.
All the time, yeah. Mira, Locura RM says the last free kick goal was Toni Kroos in El Clásico. Really? Yo no me acuerdo. Which Clásico though? Because I honestly cannot remember the last time we scored in a goal kick.
It had to be 3
Let me
years
see
ago.
here. I think the game had very slow transitions. No, I think I already read that one. Siempre fi. Would any of the panelists gone on the field to kick Herrera, the Osasuna goalkeeper? And that's the other one. He made 2 really good saves because, as per usual, every goalkeeper that plays against Real Madrid, all of a sudden, we start their international career.
Right. But what about that? Was a great kick by Casemiro. I thought that was
Casemiro, if that goes in. Let's stay
that
with
was a lot of
Casemiro for a
imagination.
second. What did you guys think about Casemiro's game? I think he had a much better game today than
First time
all
he
the
plays well
previous
in a long
ones
time.
he had played. Yes. He was.
First time he plays well in a long time. I think he made like 15 or 16 recoveries.
He
So
recovered a lot of balls. He was not late balls. I really
and
liked
not only
Casemiro's
that,
game.
he made a long pass and actually connected with Rodrigo across the field, which to me is the passes that I hate the most because I don't think that I don't think that's a smart pass to connect in the across the field because if somebody intersects it, then they're up on us. And it almost cost us when Lucas Vázquez beats George one bounce and it ended up behind him. And thank God that the free shot because they have good free shot takers. The Osasuna, the free kicks, the guys are good.
But they didn't really have any chances other than the one that hit the post and then Carvajal's foot almost, But did they have any other chances?
Let me ask you something. What I don't understand is that in basketball, you have these guys in the old days in basketball. They had a lot of imagination. They used to like create plays out of nowhere, fake or make a move this way and go the other way. Now I see this guy Carvajal is playing soccer 9 years old or 8. He gets a ball that comes to him, but he's not a lefty. He's a righty. Instead of catching the ball and trying to create something in there, and he has Asensio on the right. If he kills the ball right there in the area, then he digs them and he passes it to Asensio, who's lefty. Maybe we'll get a goal. I mean, you don't. I mean, it's like there's a lack of imagination and creativity nowadays in a lot of these players that they don't see this. They don't anticipate. You know that you're a high level basketball player.
No, what I said, for example, in the corners, all those 11 corners that we short kicked it, which is terrible, in hitting corners, I always say also here. You see other teams and they have plays and they have, different imaginations, blocks in the areas, like they do in basketball. Actually, I heard last World Cup, one of the coaches from England was a coach for basketball to do some plays in order to shoot the free kicks and the corners, and they score a lot of goals because of that. I don't know why we never do this. I mean, are we the only team in the world that we don't make something different
strategy plays?
A strategy plays, which is it's only or either a short kick, hilly corner, or we just throw it there and let's hope that Casemiro
Something
comes in and
happens.
something happens, and Militao comes and something happens.
Militao had one that he was close. I don't know. I don't understand. I agree with
Before
you.
before we had Sergio Ramos and Baranda, that they were really good headers.
But there was also
Militao and
strategy.
Casemiro sometimes get it in, but yes, it's not what we had before.
But you know something? If you remember this play, they were playing in El Clásico, and Zidane was the coach, and there was a corner kick, and we needed to score a goal, right? Now Lucas Vasquez, who's a really beachy player, he's really like a guy that a fighter. So he threw a pick. He threw a pick on Piqué, and he blocked Piqué from following Ramos, and Ramos got it and scored. And Piqué was really upset with Luquita. But that was a brilliant play because and Luquita was always doing. So I don't know if they are preparing this type of plays again to free somebody up, and then the corner comes in, a quality corner comes in the place where where they can connect with it. They haven't been doing that.
Listen to this. Jean-Perfi says the tactics before was aim for Ramos and pray that his head connects with the ball. What do you guys think of Asensio's game today? To me, he was invisible.
No, I think it wasn't that bad because what I look for a player is like if you try. He was trying. He was running. He came back on defense.
Hang on.
I'm not sure.
Let me stop you 1 second. What do you see Asensio's role being on the team? Is he supposed to create? Is he supposed to defend? Is he supposed to create, defend, and score? What for you? What does Asensio have to do? What is he supposed to do on that field?
I think it depends on the match because those guys
Today's match. Today.
Well,
what was his role today?
I think what he was doing, it was help us back in defense because they were not going to open up any spaces. And when he was trying to run to his left, they had 3 or 4 guys in front of him, and then the other guys, we could not get we could not get the ball through them because they always had legs and they stop any kind of. One thing I look again, going back to basketball, is that there are times in which you can, in those kind of games where you're not going to be able to go all the way through in the area and score. So there are times all those guys can shoot from outside. So you can create a play where somebody makes a run, someone comes from behind, passes it to someone, and then somebody takes a good shot from out the area with a curler or something, and you can score from distance. It doesn't have to be. I mean, I see it all the time. The Croatians and the Serbians, they're excellent at those plays. They hitting shot from a little bit outside the box because they were not going to go through. I mean, when Benicio tried, so Asensio has that left shot. And if he's not gonna, he's not a guy like that breaks you down with un regate. You know what I mean? With a dribbler.
Asensio has a great left shot. Did he take a goddamn shot today? No. The answer is no. Not a single shot. Zero. Nada. Zero.
He couldn't take it because when he was going left, they had 5 guys on him.
No. I have una ¿cómo es? Exclusiva. We still don't have money. We're getting a message here from Federación Real Madrid. Koeman, bye-bye. It's going to be announced from Football Club Barcelona in some minutes. Cope heard. We shall see. Because, thankfully, Falcao injected Barcelona today with a goal, and they lost again. Which makes today's draw even more frustrating because we, again, wasted another fantastic chance to be 3 more points ahead of Barcelona.
Well, if you look at it, Madrid is ahead 36 points to 21. How many points
we could be 8 ahead.
Rayo Vallecano, man, you have to love those guys.
I do. I love them when they beat Barcelona. I hate playing Rayo Vallecano in Vallecas. Absolutely hate playing in that stadium because it's the size of a shoebox. The field, it seems. It is very, very hard. Siempre saying that Asensio fears his knee. I know he does, and we've talked ad nauseum about how hard his injury is psychologically. But go get a damn sports psychologist and treat yourself because he's a shadow of the player who he was, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. Yo no entiendo how he took no shots today. Por favor. I mean, I don't understand
They
that.
wouldn't let him. But how about Marcelo? Marcelo played very well, and you wanted him to
Marcelo
go
almost
over
scored. So how did Marcelo almost score and Asensio didn't even take a shot? Like, I don't understand. I don't
Yeah, but
understand
Marcelo can dribble. Marcelo can go in and dribble anyone. That's the thing with Marcelo.
Oh, here we go again.
Marcelo
They're
is
telling me there are problems with my microphone. I don't know what else to do. I haven't
No,
touched.
no, you're fine.
No he tocado nada. Me
I hear
trolean
you
because
fine.
I have been having issues since Saturday. But
You're fine. Fine with it.
a ver, Locura Real Madrid says let them bring Xavi. Maybe then they'll start blaming the guilty ones, right? The players. Osasuna will play the next three sides on par with us on 21 points. They play Sevilla, Sociedad, and Atletico next. Maybe they'll do us a favor and get some pounds.
Well,
He says that my
knowing
sound
how
disappears intermittently. I don't know.
knowing how these guys play, they come to Madrid, they play all out. And probably the next match they get thumped for 4-0. That's how usually.
No,
Look what
Roberto,
happened
like
to
we
us.
were saying before, Osasuna up until today had won every single away game this season.
Right.
No, they're doing
Yeah,
really
but
well.
look at Valencia. Valencia played us very well. What have they done since? What about
Ah, pero
Villarreal?
Valencia is like that every year. Valencia, Sevilla, and Villarreal are the same. They have the game of their life against Real Madrid, and then they lose the next three. Always,
that's
historically,
exactly
it's
what
always
that's what they do. So I mean, Valencia lost 4-1 today, which is
good.
horrendous.
I love it.
Uh,
Hold on, because I like Betis. So, you know. So let's see what other players. What do you guys think about Alaba? I didn't really even hear his name
no,
being mentioned. He must have had 8
I,
ball touches all game. Never heard his name.
he was sitting back. I thought that at one point when he got the ball deep, I said, "Go home, go home with it, Alaba." And then he came up, he came out a little bit, and then he passed it to Tony Kroos. But and that's his left foot. And then Militao, I love the way Militao tried to take control with that run on the sideline.
He
That
had a
was
very good
beautiful to
game.
see.
Militao had a
You
very
know,
good game. Very good game.
that showed leadership, in my opinion. That like he was trying to grab the game by, he has those kind of skills. I mean, he went through, kept it close to the sideline, and almost went through.
I
You
think
know,
he's been
I
playing
thought
with a
that they
lot of
should have.
confidence. He's been playing with a lot
I
of
thought I,
confidence.
I thought that they should have played more on Rodrigo's side too, because Rodrigo was making some pretty smart moves on that side, but everything was going to Vinicius, and then they had three guys on Vinicius on the other side. So, I mean, again, moving it quickly from side to side, they weren't doing that. So
All right,
there
so
you are.
let's change gears a little bit. We have another game in 60 hours, 6-0, not 72, like it's supposed to be the minimum amount of rest that players should have, because I want to know where the players' union is at this point. What changes would you make in the starting lineup come Elche's game? We play at 2 p.m. on Saturday, which is 8 a.m. Miami time on Saturday.
I will put some fresh blood.
But who? Who would you sub for who?
I will put some fresh Benzema out. No matter how good he's doing and how he's the greatest player right now. He needs to rest. He needs to rest in order to for you can't play him all the games all the season. No way, no way. I mean, we saw this in basketball with all these long seasons. You need to change players. You need to give minutes to all the players. I know he's basic for us, but sometimes you need to
So
make
would you
him
put
tougher.
Jovic in?
I will
Super
put
Plátano Power Mariano.
I will put whoever, either Jovic or Mariano. I don't care. I mean, I don't care. I mean, one of those two.
I Mariano, even though he would probably get injured warming up, I would put
Did
Mariano
did
because to
did you
me,
see,
Jovic has no blood, just none whatsoever.
did you see Vinicius limping a little bit at the end?
A little bit, but es que that man has been running like crazy, like absolute
Ha-
crazy.
happened with him also against Barcelona, if you remember.
So
He had to stop because
He's
he was
another one that
really.
needs a little rest, I think, right?
Lorenzo is right. I mean, I would just make wholesale changes. I bring in I don't know how big Elche is on offense, but I will
Okay,
start.
it's official. Koeman fired. Just got the alert.
Yeah, it was about time.
Imagínate. So, bueno, I don't care who comes to train them next. Let's stay
They
focused
they're
on
gonna
what's important.
they're gonna pay him in 25 installments of 1 million
Por favor,
for the
they
next 2
still
years.
owe Setien his finiquito. I don't know how you say finiquito in English.
And
It's,
I think they also own Valverde.
I don't know.
They owe a lot of
Well,
money.
they're still. Los finiquitos, Barca owes money all over the place. But hey, they're gonna build a new stadium, and they're gonna sign Haaland. Whatever. Okay, so you would put first legs on top. Would you make any
I think
changes in the middle?
He's gonna start Hazard, and he's gonna start Jovic. And I think Kroos probably will be rested. What's the matter with? Is there something wrong with Modric? Is Modric
We don't know
fit,
what happened with
or
Modric. He was in
probably
the.
rest today. He probably rest today.
No. He was in the initial call-up list in la convocatoria, and then 4 hours before the game or so, Real Madrid issued a statement that Modric would not be playing today. But they didn't say why. They didn't say if he was injured. They didn't say if he had a personal matter.
It's a rest.
Sí, bueno, pero
He
then
was
why do you put him in the initial list?
He was running hard. In El Clásico, he ran really hard. At the end, he was really tired.
We were saying
Because,
yesterday we wanted him to rest. So at the end of the day, just rest. It's fine.
There was a paper from England that was writing about that game, and they were mentioning that Real Madrid could have put that game to bed many times in El Clásico, but they failed to score. Which, if they had scored 2 or 3 goals early, then they could have substituted the Modric and even maybe Kroos early on. But because the game was tight all along, he played the whole 90 minutes, and then he played 90 minutes the game before. So it's too much. Modric is 36 years old. It doesn't. And he's good.
He
the
needs
guy
to
is.
stop going to play with Croatia. I think he needs to retire from his national team. He made it to a
He's not
World
gonna
Cup
do
final.
that.
Relax.
The man is
Do
a
like
patriot.
Rakitic,
You know what I mean?
retire from the national team.
He's a patriot. He's not gonna do that. He's like the soul of that nation. And
I know he is. It's my wishful thinking. My wishful thinking.
If he stopped playing there, it would be national mourning in Croatia.
Yeah.
The guy is he's a great guy. He's a fantastic man. We were lucky to have him. I saw him play at the Bernabeu. What a joy! We thumped those guys from Villarreal that night 4-1. A very good experience being at the Bernabeu for a soccer match. Nothing like it.
Yeah,
Everybody smoking cigarettes.
they don't find that anymore.
They sell you the seat padding, so I bought 2 of them, and the seats are very narrow on the old Bernabeu, but the atmosphere is great. I was sitting next to a fella, and the old guy, it looks like he was a socio, and he was telling me everything about, Madrid, Spain, the Catalonians, and also the favorite food of Spaniards is the what's that black thing that you eat in the soup? It's all over the. Huh? No. It's a black mollusk that you use, from the seafood. It's like
Mejillones.
Percebe.
O percebes. Percebes, qué rico.
Oh,
Oh my God, you're making me very hungry.
Don't buy them in the restaurant. Those are no good. You have to buy them from the Black Sea. And I say, I'm walking around Madrid. I don't know anything.
Let's focus, Let's focus. We're talking about Elche. So we want Mariano or Jovic up front in the middle. I don't think we have much to pick from. Would you put Camavinga back in and tell him to slow his butt down? And
nah. You have to put Blanco. I would put Blanco in.
You also have Blanco, right?
Blanco, Casemiro, and Asensio. That's what I would put.
Okay.
Asensio, he's an asset, and I would put Marcelo and Carvajal back in there, and then
would you put Nacho back in? Well, I was gonna just say,
I would put Nacho, and maybe or Luquita. But you can get a team in there that can compete, and then late in the game, if we need them, you can substitute Benzema for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Late in the game, 10, 15 minutes, you can bring them in if you need to tighten up the match. But I think those guys can hold their own. I mean, they're top-notch players. If they're in Madrid, they're good enough to play. You can have people sitting in the bench and not play because you have to see what you have.
Lorenzo, I have a question. How far is Elche, right, from Madrid? How long is this trip?
You mean by car?
By whichever route Madrid is taking. I would imagine they're flying, right?
I think they have to fly. It's a 50,000. It's a nice little city. 50,000 people.
You go to Alicante and by plane, and it's like half an hour. I mean, by plane, it's like 35 minutes. Very close.
I googled it last year. It's a nice little city, like 50,000 people. And I really
I'm trying to calculate the actual amount of rest that these players are going to get, because in Spain it's midnight. By the way, it's my birthday today, because in Spain it's already my birthday. They're going to be, thank you, they're going to go to bed, past midnight, and then tomorrow they have to recover, right? Tomorrow's Thursday, tomorrow is Dia de massage, spa, da-da-da-da. So then they're going to just train Friday, and then they have to travel Friday night, I would imagine, right?
All right.
Happy birthday to...
Sigue cantando, hombre.
Birthday to... Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you.
Not bad. Very nice. Happy birthday, Maria.
Wow, si te falla, I don't know, basketball and Twitch, you can always start singing en el retiro with a hat and a guitar.
Yeah.
And
always was a kind of my frustration not to sing.
You're a frustrated singer. You should join my husband, Arturito. My husband's a frustrated singer and actor. De la madre que lo parió. Mira, our viewers are saying, wow, Lorenzo can sing.
Yeah, right.
You know what the best thing is?
Let's do karaoke.
That this is now recorded, and be very well that I'm going to clip this and blast it over social media. Lorenzo singing. He no longer commentates horse races. He's going to go into singing now. Pero bueno, I think it's late over there. Let's wrap it up. I have to nothing. I took the day off tomorrow. Tomorrow I took the entire day off. I plan on doing between nothing and 0. I'll probably be around social media, hanging out in my house, and enjoying the day. And then on Saturday, I'm going to meet John Bon Jovi. So I'm very happy about that. Very excited. Very excited. So cheer up, my fellas. Yes, we tied, but at least the other nincompoops lost or tied as well, because Sevilla tied as well. Let's see what Real Sociedad does. And
And Real Madrid basketball game won today.
And Real Madrid in basketball won today. Very good, very good. That is true. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Spain time, and then all the other times in between for all the other parts of the globe. Thank you for connecting with us, and have a good night. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
One more question for Lorenzo. How is Fernando with you? Is he a big brother?
Oh, he's young.
Wunderbar!
Okay, because he looks so serious when he's
Das ist wunderbar!
and usually when he makes a point, he's like really
Wunderbar! Wunderbar! Das ist wunderbar!
Good man.
Oh la la! Das ist nicht zu fassen! Fußball! Fußball! Oh la la! Das ist nicht zu fassen! Das ist wunderbar!